that I will discuss and the techniques that I will discuss in the case studies are equally applicable to any industry or size of the organization you can think of. So don't focus on the on the specific example. Focus on the underlying technique that was used, and I'll try and highlight those as much as possible. So I selected 5 case studies where, by doing quantitative risk analysis, we changed the course of history or saved a lot of money, either of the two. And it made a big difference. And we achieved that in a way that I personally don't think would have been physically possible through a qualitative or an alternative kind of traditional approach to risk management with qualitative heat maps. So let me dive into that. The first case study I mentioned in the previous module, a sovereign fund, again, multi-billion-dollar corporation, but the size doesn't really matter. The fact that matters is that they had a shareholder, which was the Ministry of Finance. And the shareholder was approving, just like a board member would, was responsible for approving business plans. And because it was a sovereign fund, so kind of a government-based organization, they were still doing 5-year plans. And so this 5-year plan had to be approved by the Ministry of Finance. And so what the risk management team has done is that it took the version that the management was about to send to the Ministry of Finance, and it identified key underlying assumptions. And it also identified key underlying risks. And the risk team mapped the two things together. So which risks relate to which assumptions, and how big should be the range of an assumption based on the risks that the team has identified. So what we end up doing is we end up replacing all of the assumptions with ranges, correlating the assumptions together so that there are no unrealistic scenarios, and then running a simulation, taking a financial model, financial business plan, and then running a simulation, a stress simulation inside that financial model allowed us to immediately see that the assumptions that the management were about to go to the board to were completely unrealistic, because there was a close to 0% probability of achieving the objective. And so we fed that information back to the management, and the management started making adjustments. They started incorporating mitigation actions. They started changing the assumptions. They started rebalancing the portfolio. So the final version that went to the board and later to the Ministry of Finance had a 70% probability of success. And that the management felt gave a fairer representation of the situation, because there was risk. It wasn't a risk-free business plan. There was only a 70% chance that it will be successfully implemented, because the risks were very, very significant.